course, it is greetings to all our viewers who are watching us live. This is www.techmic.tv. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us live right here. We are in our studios, and today we are so much excited and very much honored once more again. This is the second episode of Tech Business, where we're talking nothing much but technology and business. We have a guest, a very special guest from powertel Limited, or powertel Private Limited. His name is Mr. Prosper Mswiri, who is the marketing manager for powertel. Mr. Prosper Mswiri, are you not a doctor yet?
Yeah, maybe it's prophetic. Maybe it's prophetic. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Tonio. I'm excited to be here, and I would like to greet you all, our fellow Zimbabweans.
Thank you so much. So we are in an unprecedented times these days in Zimbabwe, where we have seen a lot of limitations and developments as far as our environment is concerned, and many people are leveraging technology. And you are the marketing manager for a purely technological company that offers various technological solutions to many Zimbabweans there. How best do you think Zimbabweans can leverage technology, especially in these days of social distancing and COVID pandemic?
Thank you very much, Tonio. I would like to say maybe first and foremost, COVID-19 brought disruptions to our normal operation. However, there are a lot of opportunities that were created by the advent of COVID-19. Obviously, I would like to take you back to the era of first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, the third industrial revolution, and now it is high time that we embrace what we call the fourth industrial revolution. So there are a lot of opportunities that came with COVID-19, and in terms of ICT, we have seen accelerated innovation being introduced, where operators were forced to really leapfrog to introducing what we call bespoke ICT solutions, whereby it is now tailor-making solutions specific for a business entity. So whether you're a small business and you are now operating perhaps from home, there is the advent of virtual reality, augmented reality, quite a number of solutions that were introduced, the work from home productivity solutions, and a number of ICT solutions. So this is an exciting period, rather I would like to say, where we are excited to introduce those things that are now coping with what we call the fourth industrial revolution.
You were a very critical organization, especially in this COVID dispensation, where I understand you are an internet service provider. How has been the uptake as far as the internet connectivity is concerned from most Zimbabweans? Have you seen any surge? Have you seen any drop? How has it been? Because I understand many people, they are on these various platforms.
We've seen and experienced from an operator perspective is quite huge demand of ICT solutions, not only in terms of connectivity. I want to emphasize that, but in terms of other innovations. For example, we really never thought we'd work from home this early. So there are solutions that should allow our customers to work from home. Of course, we want to thank the government through Potras that they introduced additional spectrum, free spectrum to operators, which I believe the operators should take advantage of that to roll out and expand their networks so that they're able to capacitate themselves in providing these solutions to the customers who desperately need.
Let's talk about this for the benefit of our news consumers who may not be fully aware of this. What spectrum was introduced, and how does this help various players?
Yeah, there was an introduction of free spectrum in areas of 3G and areas of long-term evolution, which we call LTE.
Yeah.
Now, this is mainly to decongest the congested base stations. So they were given to the three main operators, and it is to decongest the congested base stations. Let me tell you something. You are a customer who is consuming or connected to a certain base station or to a certain operator. Now your usage for internet or your use for internet has changed. You still do the same, but it has changed. Because now you now need to do a lot of things. There's conferencing, video conferencing, people are going on Zoom, people are now using Teams, people are now using huge applications that allows them to operate from home. And now that requires increased bandwidth or increased capacity. So this allowed the operators to be able to increase their capacity at the same time without bringing pain to the customer. So the customer is now able to enjoy more reliable provision of ICT solutions or internet connectivity at the same time with reduced cost. So this is the advantage of what Potras brought in. So it came in as a panacea to some of the deficiencies that operators were now facing in terms of provision of ICT solutions or connectivity to their customers.
Okay, so let me just take you back a little bit. I'd asked the initial question, how good has been business to you? Has there been any significant change for you as a powertel, as an ISP? Have you seen any such changes as far as customers and usage of the internet during this COVID pandemic?
In terms of usage, there's been quite a drastic change in terms of usage of internet, in terms of demand for other ICT solutions, which I elaborated earlier on to say bespoke ICT solutions. For example, productivity solutions, collaboration solutions, working from home solutions, amongst a plethora of other solutions that are now demanded by the new customer in this new normal. However, there's not really been a balance, in terms of the demand of for the solutions against perhaps the revenue. Remember that COVID-19 came in as a disruption to business.
Correct.
So in terms of disposable income for our customers, there's not really been that much change. So we're trying to balance. So we're excited with this a period or session that we are going through, because it is allowing us to have what we call customer voice cascading, where we build solutions with the customers and we provide those solutions with the customers to avoid what we call market myopia. So we are excited because there is huge demand for ICT solutions. At the same time, we are allowing our customers to grow with us. So we are like in the new industrial revolution, but growing together with our customers. Yeah.
Right. What would you rather recommend? I understand we have a lot of options that people have been offering as far as technological. What do you think maybe as a nation, from an ISP perspective, we could have done or leveraged to try and help Zimbabweans, especially under this COVID pandemic? Do you have any certain specific solutions or ideas of how we can leverage technology to try and combat this virus?
Look, let me share with the 3 pillars that are critical to the development of the economy, according to Minister Mtu, in the Transitional Stabilization Program. He said the economy is anchored around 3 pillars: agriculture, mining, and a robust digital economy. Right. Let me now explain it further. Let's look at ICT use new roles in mining in terms of safety for public people, in terms of monitoring of the mining activities. Let's look at the new roles of ICT in agriculture. The use of drone in agriculture, use of Internet of Things in agriculture, amongst other things. Remember, agriculture is a business and it sees no boundaries. The global is it sees now the global as the customer. Let's look at use of ICTs in the new normal insofar as health sector or health provision is concerned, where you are now able to call a doctor from home. You are now able to transact from home. You are now able to get solutions and prescriptions in the comfort of your home. Let's look at the use of ICT in e-commerce or in the commerce. Let's look at how customers have found convenience in terms of digital transactions. Sending money, receiving money, paying, transacting in amongst a number of things. So these are some of the initiatives already that ICT, or some of the solutions that ICT brings to business and to the customer and to the general public. Because these are the key areas around where the public has got interest and the economy also has got interest. The nation has interest in the business and the public. The public has interest in their companies and also in terms of transaction in their general livelihoods. So ICT has played a crucial role. If you look at it from our organization as powertel, we've come in to help the initiatives around the COVID-19 through introduction of what we call the COVID packages, learning from home and working from home. We've introduced those collaborative.
How lucrative are these COVID packages, and how different are they from the other packages that you've been offering?
They are addressing the pockets of the public and the pockets of the business. They are appreciating that the business is constrained.
By how much? How cheap or how affordable are these?
I think ours is as low as 65% the normal cost.
Okay.
65% the normal cost, cheaper. So this is an initiative for the scholar at home and an initiative for the worker at home. So they are called Edge Worker, those packages. They are addressing the worker, they are addressing the scholar. And we've also introduced what we call Let's Talk with our business customers, where we discuss and really see what they require and how constrained are they, so that we create a package that surely address their needs, at the same time allowing them to leap and allow their business to go back to normal. So with a positive mind, I am excited and I'm positive that towards a good direction as far as ICT is concerned. Why? Because at last, everyone is realizing that the solutions of every business is anchored around information communication technology.
Mm-hmm. I understand your organization is powertel is heavily involved with a very interesting technology, which is vehicle tracking and tracing. Have you ever thought of using your technological prowess and your network into COVID tracing and tracking? Is that something that has come through your mind, or something that you probably think you can leverage using your already available infrastructure?
Not only in terms of tracking of COVID, tracking of even animals, tracking of even asset management. There are a number of things that people are worried with. People, when it comes in, people are not only worried about the pandemic, but they are worried about the key ecosystems around them. Their relatives, their general livelihoods, their assets, and their businesses, because they contribute to how they are able to operate or to continue with life. So we are innovating around all those initiatives, all those solutions that are required by the general public. But of course, you'd appreciate that it's a step, one day at a time. But we're also forced to go into an accelerated mode in terms of provision of ICT solutions. And we are excited to be able to provide all such solutions. Mm-hmm. And definitely, the sky is the limit. We'll go beyond what we are currently offering in terms of solutions.
I understand you are in this as a business model, and you have a business interest as far as all these services you've been talking about. I need to understand how profitable has the business been to you as an ISP, especially in this environment where we have a lot of clients who are crying for lower, cheaper, affordable, available data versus or vis-a-vis your operational costs. How has been the business to you as a service provider?
Look, it's been exciting, and I want to explain to the viewers out there how excited I am around the business, Tony. You would appreciate that I'm an ICT person too. To me, most operators have been focusing not only in terms of making profits around financial, but profits around retention of customers, profits around sustaining the business, profit around making sure efficiency and customer experience is up to standard. So to me, in a disaster, they are profit themselves. You look like in an accident. You don't look at the objectives of getting to where you are in an accident when you're traveling, but you look at profit is surviving. So everyone says, thank God you are alive. So these are critical or key pillars that we are excited as a business to be able to retain our customers, to be able to maintain a relationship with our customers, to be able to develop innovations that still addresses the new needs of our customers. Remember, our customers have been forced to change into new needs, and we have to cope with that. That we have been trying as a business, and we are excited that we've tried to make sure that we retain our customers, we procreate services with our customers, we provide relevant solutions with our customers, while at least we are allowing ourselves to look into the future in terms of provision. So the objectives of every business, I'm sure you agree with me that they have been redefined because of the pandemic, not only in Zimbabwe, but world over. Yeah.
Thank you for that. We are going to be taking a short break where we need to discuss the second segment of this tech business show. Now we're going to be talking about the cyber bill, the recently yet to be enacted law cyber bill, and we understand that there's a lot that's going on through. So after this short break, we'll be right back. And thank you so much. We are back live right here. This is www.techmake.tv, where we are having a technological discussion with the powertel marketing manager, Mr. Prosper Mswidi. Thank you so much for having us back. And Mr. Mswidi, thank you for joining us once more again. Right, so now we are talking about the current developments that are going on I understand right now the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Regulatory Authority, and other various arms of the government today, they are in Bulawayo. There is a discussion of the cyber bill, the final consultative process rather, before it is passed into law. Your perception in this whole event?
Thank you, Tonio. I think it's a great initiative. Perhaps I would love to hear from you if, according to the whole document, you have any area where you have a problem. We can then start a discussion around that and open each other's eyes. But to me, it's a very good initiative. I think long overdue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I honestly have personal reservations because of the constituency that I represent, the people. I represent the reader. I represent the public. And my issue is when we are talking about the cyber bill, it has been seen as a repressive tool that is going to be used to silence people, or rather to punish people. And I think I'll read my major issue. We're not just worried about the cyber bill on its own, but also we should look at the heart and the soul of the cyber bill. If you read the current cyber bill, the first introductory paragraph, it's rather alarming. It reads that the Cybersecurity and Data Protection Bill of 2019, the purpose of this bill is to consolidate cyber-related offenses and provide for data protection. But you can see the spirit and the ethics and the ethos of this cyber bill. It clearly starts by telling Zimbabweans that the purpose of this bill is to consolidate cyber-related offenses.
Right.
The way we make bills.
That's why I said perhaps it was critical for you to share with me the areas where you have any challenge around the cyber bill. But I want to share with you and the rest of viewers out there. Of course, let's discuss around it. There's not only one objective around the cyber bill, according to what I've gone through around it. Mm-hmm. A very exciting document for everyone to go through and to read and be able to share your thoughts. The second line from what we have read, Tonio, speaks of declaration of rights as enshrined in the Constitution. And it says, in the interest of the public and national interest. So to me, it is trying to balance both the national interest and the public interest. So I do not see if that it is excluded the public, but it's speaking of declaration of rights. Are rights only for the government? No. They are for both the public and national. You see, national. So it also, if you read the last page, I think from the first paragraph of that memorandum, should be page 1. Read close to the last page. It speaks of, that is the most exciting part that I loved about that document. Read it. It speaks of technology. It says, it will create a technology-driven business environment. I want you to underline that.
Yeah.
And encourage, hear this, technological development and the lawful use of technology. Look, my brother, when a bill is talking of business environment, obviously, it qualifies to be a good bill. When a bill is talking of technological development, it qualifies to be a good bill. But I'm saying your thoughts are still welcome. I'm sure that is why they've taken the bill to the public to get the views. But look, this bill appreciates, according to me, from a business perspective, it appreciates that the business have moved into a cyber world, which is the fourth industrial revolution, where business exists with what? With the social life. So everything has been moved to online. Everything has been moved to technology. Everything has been moved to the fourth industrial revolution. And there has to be some form of governing in that space.
Well, why do you always need governing or governance on?
Look, we used to go to the shop back then and stand in a queue to be able to do transaction and purchase your meal groceries that you want to do. But now we are able to do it online.
Correct.
You can transact everything online.
Correct.
People are working online. Meetings are happening online. Conferences are happening online. People have been migrated to online. You see. And thanks to technology. But at the same time, there's been a lot of abuse around technology. Abuse of beings. You see now.
Yeah.
Abuse of the cyberspace. And that is way we have to also take the policemen online. So that we are able to have the whole ecosystem that is good for the rights of a human being and the rights of a business in a proper business environment converging and working together. So we need the policeman online, and we need the business online, we need the customer online.
How old do you think our police officers as far as dealing with cyber-related issues? I know you cannot speak for them, but I'm just asking for a personal opinion from you. Do you think that our police officers are well equipped with cyber-related issues as far as these issues are concerned? Just your thoughts on this.
I think everyone can be schooled, and I am, like you indicated, I'm not so perhaps qualified to speak on behalf of the police, but from a technology part, I think the police is connected to technology. They are connected to internet, and it's a start. Or most of them are using technological gadgets, and it's a start. So you can always graduate everyone to a certain level where you need to operate. So there's a start to everything. But we are saying, as a start, the bill, overall, it contains the critical or the key components insofar as business environment is concerned. Do you know that anyone can attack your business for no reason?
Yeah.
You see. Why? Because the space has been opened. Everyone has been graduated into the cyberspace. So we've got to have some sort of controls around that space, because we are now operating in that space. It's the new normal. It's the virtual reality.
Yeah. There are certain worries that people may have, or actually have. We've had certain utterances. Sorry to put you on the spot. Yeah. We've had certain utterances whereby some officials or government arms would warn you and say, well, we are crafting the cyber bill. The cyber bill will deal with such issues. Don't you find the cyber bill may be used against general Zimbabweans as a punitive measure, or as a punitive excuse for anything that could have been done online, instead of it granting online freedom? Are you at all?
Look, my brother, perhaps I'm not that big to be able to comment around that. Look, yeah. I'm just a marketing manager for powertel. And my interest mainly, from what I read around that bill, is that abuse has not left anyone. The business is affected in terms of abuse and in terms of other cyber crimes. And perhaps a policy or some form of governance is needed around keeping that as a problem. So from a business environment, I think what we have read through around creation of or supporting or promotion of a technology-driven business environment is what excited us, and promotion of technological development. So perhaps in trying to do that, they're trying to balance all ends to ensure that there is balance around how a business can thrive in that new space, how a customer is protected in that new space, and how we are able to compete internationally in that new space. Other areas, I'm not that qualified to be able to comment around that. But overall, the bill, insofar as business is concerned, is trying to address quite a number of things. But no, look, there's a word that I've learned which is called continuous investment, improvement. The Kaizen theory, if you've ever heard about it. It speaks that you build on the best of the past, best for the future. You speak very well for... So you have to... So we say the bill is open to improvement. So you come and you
let me just take you to the screen. Let me just take you to the screen yes, where we just need to read about the bill. But maybe before we do that, I'll put you on the spot probably one more last time. You an internet service provider, and there are issues of personal data privacy that many people are worried about. What is the reading or the business ethics of powertel as far as correcting, protecting people information and people's privacy using powertel? I know you are a state-owned enterprise. The government protect me? Can powertel protect me from the government should the government request certain information about me? Am I safe if I'm using your ISP from you guys sending my personal information to the government? How do you, or how would you deal with such a situation should it be requested?
Antonio, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Should
I thought I was the one asking questions here, but
yeah,
that's all right.
I know, because you know what? It's good to have any form of discussion.
No problem.
But
Anytime.
there is a question that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Should a service provider protect you from abuse?
From abuse, definitely yes.
So if they are protecting you from abuse, what do you think are the ways that they can protect you from abuse?
By making sure that they make my information confidential and should never be shared by anybody else unless if I've given express permission.
Is that the only way that the government, that the service provider can? Look, most operators have been protecting their customers from attacks. Not only attacks attacks on the cyberspace. We have what we call the, back then, DDoS, these cyber attacks that a customer can face, and the service providers have been putting a lot of security investment around protecting their customers from cyber attacks. So but look, the whole ecosystem has to come in to be able to protect customers from any form of abuse. But in the first instance, I would like to say, why would you perhaps use the cyber world for abuse or for wrong things? So we are encouraging, for me, to answer you, I would like to say,
because I'm still waiting for my answer.
Let's promote the cyber world. It is here to stay. We are going into another new revolution, which is called the fourth industrial revolution, where we are going to coexist technology and human life. But let's promote correct use of the new world. So that's what I would like to say. If there is good use of the new world, there's never any form of thinking that you are actually bringing about to say let's
for example, I've been following very interesting stories whereby I know that Facebook and Twitter have had to actually decline government requests to bring out information that is perceived to be private and confidential of certain clients. So I understand your position. I'll quickly move to the next issue.
Look, just to say that, to assure our customers that they've been secure since the inception of powertel. We have tried to make sure that our customers are secure insofar as from any form of cyber attack. We have invested.
Have you ever heard such requests before? And I know you are giving assurance, but in your past, have you ever heard or seen a request whereby government officials want you powertel to give them certain information about certain clients?
No, I've never heard of I've never had that experience in my own capacity, and from my own position, I've never had experience in that. What I've heard from customers is when they require where they request for network availability, where they request for anything to do with regards to their personal information. And for us, we treat each customer one-to-one. We discuss with our customer, provide them what they require one-to-one. So it's something that most operators, I think, they've been doing, including us. We have been doing that in terms of keeping our customers' security details view. Where we need customers, know your customer details, we request from the customer exchange of address and change of contact details. We do that with our customers. So our customers are secure on the cyberspace. And we are continuously investing in infrastructure that allows that our customers continue to be secure in that cyber world, knowing that we are all moving into that cyber world.
How frequent, I just want to delve quickly before we make our break, how secure and how recent do you upgrade your systems as far as the cyber world is concerned? I know there are many different attacks that are being generated these days. How often and how up to date is the powertel as an ISP as far as infrastructure investment is concerned to be resilient against any possible cyber world attacks?
We maybe without going too much detail into technical details around what we exactly do. What I can assure you is that we work on a daily basis to make sure that we have our systems upgraded in order to curb all challenges. We believe, as a technology company, that the problems of today are not the problems of tomorrow. Neither the problems of today are the problems of yesterday. They continue to graduate. So we continue to innovate around providing security and solutions that addresses our customers. For any information, we have even upgraded our backbone. We upgraded our access network. We continue also to upgrade our internet, which is the next generation internet gateways. So we continue.
How huge is powertel as an ISP? I know you are not the...
We are not an ISP. We are an IAP.
Yes,
Internet access provider. We carry ISPs.
Yes. How big is your infrastructure as an internet access provider to date? If you can just give us a summary for someone who has never heard or has never used powertel. Yeah. How is your network capacity like? Do you have any last mile connections that you've got, and how is your network?
Our network is divided in. I will just go through it. It's divided into the backbone, and we have an SDH backbone, which is upgradable to what or a DWDM. Okay. We have upgraded it.
You passionately said that part.
Look, because we have overall we have a technology that is ready for future technologies. We have invested in infrastructure which is future ready. So that's the most exciting bit about powertel.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have also the access network, which is up in the form of virtual private network, upgradable to MPLS. And we have also the CDMA, which we call code divisional multiple access. It's called the CDMA. It's upgradable to LTE or long-term evolution and LTE advanced.
People still use the CDMA today. I thought it was now.
Yeah, we are upgrading them to long-term evolution and the LTE advanced. And we have what we also call the internet. The internet, we have the next generation internet gateways that we have invested, where we are able to provide solutions like your Internet of Things. That is where we were talking about fleet management solution, monitoring solutions, asset monitoring solutions, and a number of solutions that we can provide. We can also be able to carry what we call artificial intelligence because of the backbone of our infrastructure. Artificial intelligence, where we are now able to provide solutions for agriculture, provide solutions for mining, provide solutions for business. And already, by the way, we have introduced the first level of artificial intelligence in the form of IoT, because the artificial intelligence has got 4 stages, my brother. It's got the reactive level, which we are already in by providing these solutions that we are providing. It's got the limited edition. It's got the theory of the mind. And it's got the self-awareness. But we are already moving into the first level, which is the reactive part in providing that. And this is riding on the already existing infrastructure that we have provided. Remember, we also provided solutions even for tailor-made solutions for, be it our mother company, in terms of technology, which is ZESA through aggregation solutions, where you are now able to purchase electricity in the comfort of your home. You are perhaps able to purchase electricity for your mother while you are in the UK, which is something that has never happened back then. So we are saying we are.
While we're on that note, well done. It's things were okay this part of the month.
Thank you very much.
I will not digress into what has happened in the past months, but I think we can simply say for now, well done. We managed to buy through this within the past week. With the West didn't happen. You may continue.
Thank you very much for that compliment. So as a company, this is the infrastructure that we have invested in, and this infrastructure is future ready. And we also have for remote. Some other customers may ask you to say, I'm in Dotito, I'm in Chendambuya, Murambinta, I'm in Murewa, there, you know, amongst other places. We still have solutions that we have provided to those in remote areas through, VSAT, where we are able to connect those customers in the remote areas.
Where do you get your internet, powertel? I speak about your last mile connectivity and your capacity as an internet access provider. Do you have any last miles where you directly import the internet, or you then ride on another AISP? Do you have that capacity?
Maybe on the upstream providers. Yes, let me explain to you also by dissecting our
upstream provider. Do you link out Zimbabwe?
We link outside. That's what I want to explain also. Yeah. Look, in infrastructure through what we call OPG, the fiber that runs through the pylons of ZESA. The other one goes through Mutar, right into Mozambique, and connecting into undersea cables, right to international gateways, Amsterdam. And we also have another infrastructure, OPGW, that runs through Botswana, handshaking with a company called Bofinet, right into international gateways, terminates at Terraco, right into international gateways, London, Amsterdam. So in terms of capacity of providing a huge internet capacity, remember, my brother, we're the first company to do that. We have that capacity. We also have what we call triple redundancy. Even on the upstream provider side, we have triple redundancy. We also have redundancy of connectivity that goes through South Africa. It goes through Bedbridge, terminates at Terraco, right into international gateways. So we can assure our customers that in terms of infrastructure that allows them to get whatever form of bandwidth or capacity that they require insofar as internet connection is concerned, the investment is there. We connect to international gateways, and we're able to provide.
So you're connecting via the OPG, or you're connecting via fiber?
We have fiber that runs through OPG, and we also have fiber that runs through terrestrial, through the along traversing major highways, okay, also as backup. We also have metros that runs in all towns and cities. The fiber. So we do have quite a huge kilometers of fiber that we have invested in, and we can assure our customers that where we are available, we'll be able to provide you with ubiquitous.
Before we take a break, I'll put you on the spot on that same issue. There have been concerns, or rather maybe sentiments towards Zimbabwean market. Do we still need more IAPs or ISPs to provide internet here? I just want to have your feeling towards this. Do you think that we have got enough already laid fiber companies, or we still need more? And the general market that we've got, I know we are 30 million population, but maybe 20-30% of that actually uses or they've applied or they're running these technologies. Vis-a-vis our actual ground that you guys are already laying at the fiber, there's been issues of redundancy and issues of infrastructure sharing. I just wanted to have your thoughts on this current setup. Do you think that we still need more IAPs coming into Zimbabwe, or we can work with what we've got already, since we can utilize infrastructure sharing? Or there's much more space?
Perhaps that's a wrong question. Why? Because look, I'm an operator, and I would love to operate even by myself. You see?
I love your honesty.
Yeah. But look, I would love to operate even by myself. Yes. But look, the issue is I would like to support the initiatives of Potras where they are introduced what they call converged licensing, where at school we learn what we call stick to the knitting, where you've got to focus in some certain area of expertise around provision of solutions. So they are introducing what they call converged licensing. Perhaps it would be good to have that discussion with them further. They are more schooled around that area. But look, competition is good for the customer. Investment is good for the economy. But at the same time, we also believe that the operators that are available, given the support necessary, they will be able to do a lot. And the government is trying to do a lot in terms of supporting the existing operators by capacity. Have you ever thought that operators would be given a free spectrum of 3G and LTE? No, it's something that perhaps they have to pay for, but they were given. So it's that support that is coming in terms of creating that environment that allows them to be able to operate and expand their horizons. So I would love to say that as PowerTel, we are able we can expand and be able to provide our customers with reliable solutions. So as other operators that I may perhaps not speak on behalf of them, but I believe they do have also capacity to be able to provide that. So whether we should be able to operate with the existing companies is to a very good welcome development that we can support them and be able to provide solutions that are required by our country. Should the wisdom of high offices requires that the investment should come in, it's a good welcome development that also can create competition and also can provide solutions for the customers. So the customers must be the winner at the end of the day because they are the ones that pays. Without them paying,
there's no business.
There's no business for us. Yeah,
fully understand. Yeah. Of course, and of course, should I say, fortunately, we are talking with the marketing manager. We've got Prosper Mthwiri as the marketing manager of PowerTel, aggressively defending his territory. We'll be back after this short break where we continue and get into the next but last segment of this show just after this break. of course, we are back. Thank you so much to all our viewers who are watching us live right here. We are in the third and last segment of this show, Tech Business, where we have our guest, Mr. Prosper Mswiri, who is the powertel marketing manager, and we are now closing this show. Mr. Mswiri, now let's just speak about, I know you, as powertel, you've been doing a lot, leveraging on ICTs and technologies. How far have you gone with this? I know you've been making a lot of noise on the IoTs, various technologies and stuff like that. How successful has this been as far as the business is concerned?
Very successfully, Tonio. I think the time we introduced the IoT solution, I think it was like a greenfield by that time. And we are very much happy and excited to share with you and the rest of our customers that the product that we've introduced in that line have been very successful. We have seen huge demand of those services. I'm sure for now we are now seeing tenders all over that are talking of fleet management solution. Back then we just, there was a vehicle tracking. But look, we came in with a new style, a new composition of solutions that were backed by Internet of Things, which we called fleet management solution. It was a solution that was just beyond car tracking. It could manage driver behavior. It could manage fuel. It could manage quite a number of things, or a plethora of benefits that it came with. And it has been very successful. Now we're going into a lot of other monitoring solutions, be it asset monitoring, be it grid monitoring, be it whatever form of solution that may require specific for your business, we can tailor make it. So we introduced what we call bespoke ICT solutions. Bespoke ICT solutions mean that we tailor make solutions for your business, and we address your solutions using the capacity that we have in as far as Internet of Things is concerned, or other ICT backbone that we have as a business.
And do you think that Zimbabwe is our market ready for IoT and IoT-based services? Has it been growing? And I know you've been talking and advertising about these issues for the past 2 or so years. If my memory serves me well. Mm-hmm. Is there any growth towards this sector in Zimbabwe?
A huge growth around this sector, according to the statistics that we have been provided by Potras. Remember, growth, we mean 0 to a certain number. Mm-hmm. And the numbers that we have in so far as mobile penetration is over 90%. And that's a good growth that we can report. The number that we have in terms of internet penetration is I think as of 2018 was around over 60%, and I think there was just a drop with 1% to over 57%. And I'm sure by now the statistics should report otherwise, a good growth, because I think the advent of COVID-19 brought in a huge influx of customers insofar as internet connectivity is concerned. So there's been good growth around the sector. Regardless of the current pandemic that we are experiencing, where there is obviously a reduced disposable income for our customers, but the demand for ICTs is an everyday thing. So we have seen operators being reduced from just elite operators to multi-utilities. So all of us have been reduced to multi-utilities, where internet connectivity or the services that we provide have become a basic commodity. If you have passed through the going back to the lower band of what we call the physical needs, where it has become part and parcel of our everyday needs. Remember, in the health sector, remember in education, your children are learning from home, teachers are teaching online, solutions, conferencing are happening online, and this all demanded the services of ICT. So there's been quite a huge demand that is so visible and evident for everyone to see. And every business has been forced to realize that ICT is not a department, but it is a key component of a business operation. It has become a cornerstone of a business operation that you've got to migrate every transaction that we're doing to the cyber world, to technology world so that we're able to experience efficiency. Our customers have changed, my brother. Back then, I like this statement. Back then, our customers used to be what we call the mass market. We just used to give them. They come, produce for them, and then they buy. They moved to what we call amoeba market, where, amoeba is borrowed from aqua. Amoeba is something that
no shape.
Yeah. No shape. And now they are in what we call conformance customers. They demand a designed service in the comfort of their home. So what our customers are now requiring is experience in the comfort of their home. They demand delivery of services in the comfort of their home. You can imagine when a technology sneezes, how outrageous our customers become. They become so frustrated, and I understand them. I really feel for them. And it's normal. Why? Because they are now used to experience services because of ICT. And you can imagine how transactions, how brands have seen no borders. Beyond borders, you are able to do a transaction with a business in the United Kingdom. And this is actually happening at all levels. And this is happening right now. So technology is now part and parcel of operations of every business. People have virtual offices, my brother. You see. So this is a critical for every business to now realize that ICT is no longer just a department. It is now a basic, a key component of your business if to operate
Sticking
well.
on that point where you reinstate that ICT is no longer a department but a business, do you think that Zimbabwe should also shift that mindset as far as the major revenue industry earners in Zimbabwe? Do you think that we should shift and highly prioritize ICTs? Or if at all, I may ask, do you think we are seeing the same as the government? Because I understand that this is our economy is mainly rated to be an agro-based economy. Do you think time now we shift and make this an ICT-based economy, or to highly prioritize ICTs so that they get that priorities they deserve?
I think the way across, from what I've read from the Transitional Stabilization Program, I think you've gone through it.
Yeah.
I think it outlines that. And even the cyber bill that we're talking about, it is outlining that. Why? Because
on paper, yes.
Because
on paper, clearly, are we
but
on
look,
ground?
I'm coming. I'm coming there. I want you to understand the role of ICT so that you are able to really understand it very clearly. Economy, we are rich in terms of minerals. We are very skilled in terms of agriculture because we do have the capacity to do that. But we are saying ICT should come in to enhance efficiency. So it should be part and parcel. Agriculture should adopt ICT. Mining should adopt ICT to bring efficiency in terms of their operations. So this is what I'm saying. To say ICT should become the cornerstone of the operations of every key component of the economy of business.
Clearly,
and we need a robust digital a support digital economy. And that's what I'm saying. Why? Because most operators back then, they used to compete based on infrastructure. Now we are not competing based on experience. Because what a customer or the end user requires is experience. So experience can only be brought about by ICT. ICT comes in and brings experience, brings convenience, brings reliability in terms of our day-to-day operations. So that's what we...
No, I clearly hear you there, and I understand your point. Yeah. Speaking of more or less of ICT as an enabler of various industries across. But let me just take you across to other developed countries where, for example, in the United States, we can see that maybe the top 5 listed companies there, they are not technologies, they're not ICTs enabling other industries, but they're technologies themselves, as in technological companies, which are probably the most financially successful companies. Your Facebook, your Twitters, your IT-based companies, you know, the whole of Silicon Valley, basically,
what you're talking about.
It's no longer an ICT-enabled environment, but these are ICT players themselves taking over the economy. Instead of enabling what we already have, are we not able to then come back and we revitalize our economy and empower tech-based companies instead of us only enabling what we've got with ICTs? I appreciate that point, but are we not losing an opportunity here where we should be focusing primarily more on empowering technological companies to start offering solutions, list them and run them as they are, not just as enablers?
What you are is I think you are agreeing with the bill, which is saying to create a technology.
I'm not in disagreement with everything.
but I think what you're talking about is innovation.
Yeah.
Of course, on my own, capacity, I would love to see a lot of support around innovation from the government. I think in as far as policies can be developed, how they can promote innovations around ICT. But look, you cannot ignore all the other pillars of the economy, mining, agriculture, and so forth. Why? Because they are crucial in as far as you've got to understand the nature of our country. You've got to understand our country, what we are endowed with, that can benefit the nation. But we are saying that innovation around the technology must be promoted and must be also taken seriously. And I'm sure that this is now being considered at high levels because I'm seeing it all over. Perhaps what you're also talking about is perhaps the aspect of moving towards the fourth industrial revolution in terms of preparation. Perhaps that's what we are also talking about. Innovations that addresses the fourth industrial revolution because everyone is now in the cyberspace. And we have seen in the Eastern Bloc countries also like Kenya, Rwanda, they've even appointed, I'm sure, ministers for fourth industrial revolution or champions for fourth industrial revolution. Is a lot of support around that. That perhaps is also critical because that's where we are moving towards. So I would love to also see around innovation support around that. But I'm seeing Potras is doing a lot of support around Innovation Hub and Ministry of ICT and the government and a lot of our headquarters, they are working around that. And that's an exciting development. And perhaps it can be done further and improved from one level to another. But we will get there. That's what we can promise you. I think there's always a start. We move from one level to another level, and there's always a start. And I believe we can always get there.
And definitely we have already started.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Mskwiri, it's exactly an hour into our show.
Sure.
We thank you so much, and I greatly indebted for exchanging the wisdom. Yes, that's a COVID greetings to you there. And once more to our viewers who have been watching us, this is www.techmake.tv. We have been joined by Prosper Mskwiri, who is the marketing manager for PowerTel Zimbabwe, PowerTel Private Limited. So to all those who have been watching us today, we do thank you so much. Just before we close this show, we'll give you, Mr. Mskwiri, one more time to have your parting shots just before we call this a quit.
No, thank you for inviting me into this program. It was a very fruitful discussion. And I think technology has become a cornerstone of our day-to-day operations, be it small to business enterprise, be it big business. And I would like to see everyone embracing technology, innovation, and growth around the ICT sector now and forever. And this is going to be a cornerstone around the growth of our economy. It is critical because all our customers have moved to the fourth industrial revolution.
So this is Tech Business. Give you nothing much but technology and business news each and every single Monday. It's been an hour now, 3 to 4. It's supposed to be 2 to 3, but sincere apologies. But to all those who are watching us live right now, please do join us next week again between 2 to 3 as we have our next guest talking business and technology. My name is Tonio, and we are so much excited to have you guys. And to Mr. Mskwiri, thank you so much for having us live right here.
Thank you very much.
To all of you, please hit the like and subscribe button so that the next time when you go back live, you'll be able to get a notification to come straight onto your screen so that you don't miss the next episode. From me, crew behind the scenes, it's a wrap. Ciao. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.